Hey guys, welcome to the next chapter of our series. Today we're going to start with a new model, and this one we're actually going to be freestyling. So what do I mean by that? Well, we're going to be creating our own combat knife. So you're free to follow along and make sure that you get as close as the one that I have. But if we look here at combat knife concept, there's a lot of concepts out there, and some of them are really cool, some of them are a little bit more intense, some of them are really straightforward, and we're just gonna freestyle our own and create our own element to explore some of the tools that I wanna show you. So I'm just gonna keep this as inspiration down here or on the other side to have something to look at. But we're gonna, as I mentioned, freestyle this. So I'm gonna go Polymesh 3D. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a key cube with a one subdivision right here. So I'm gonna hit T to go into edit mode, and then I'm gonna hit F to frame it. And if we take a look at the polyframe, you're gonna see that this is a perfectly straight little cube right here. So I'm gonna go into I'm gonna make this a Polymesh 3D so that we can work with it, as you can see right here. And we're gonna create the blade of the object. Now there's a ton of ways to create blades, and one of the main goals that we're gonna have in this chapter, in chapter 4, is I want to make sure that you can create a knife that you're gonna be able to use in a game, okay? So eventually we're gonna have to do a little bit of retopology, but that's fine. So I went along and learned a lot of different methods to do, and I'm going to show you the one that I think is the most valuable, the faster. So what I'm going to do is I am going to grab this cube, scale it, and rotate it 45 degrees like this, so that the sharp part of the object is going to be down here. And then I'm going to go into Q again to the movement, and I'm going to hit Alt and click this guy right here, which is going to reset the orientation. I'm gonna push it like this, and this is gonna give me sort of like the edge. Imagine we're working with like a steel bar. This is gonna give me the edge of the knife. And we definitely want to have not a straight knife, probably like a little bit of a curve up here. So I'm going to go into SimModeler, BCM. And the best way to do this is with an insert loop. I'm going to place a spacebar, and in the insert loop, I'm going to say multiple edge. So when you press multiple and you click and drag, you're going to have like a lot of elements. And you're going to have, let's say, something like that. I think looks good. And then now we're gonna bend this. We're gonna bend this shape a little bit so that we get our proper like sharp edge on the top side, or on the bottom side. Sorry. So the way we're gonna bend this is we're gonna use a tool, very nice tool here inside of the little gear that is called the bend arc. There's all of these are transforms, like different types of transforms that you can utilize for your meshes. I would strongly recommend to go either to the documentation or just try it yourself with like each one of them and see how they work. I'm going to be using the bent arc, and the way the bent arc works is depending on which little cone you select, you're going to be creating a little bit of a deformation. So for instance, here I can deform downwards, or I can deform like upwards like this to create again like a curvature. And the cool thing about this is I should be able to mask this out. Let me go out of this first. So let me go back to Gizmo 3D. I'm gonna mask this out, and then I'm gonna go to Gizmo 3D, bent arc. Yeah, that's really weird. Usually it lets me keep it. So I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm just gonna duplicate this guy because I want to keep this straight part. And I'm just gonna like modify this a little bit, give it a little bit of like curvature, probably something like this. There we go. Now on this one, I'm gonna delete this half side, and then I'm gonna say delete hidden, which is my shortcut here. Remember, you can find it inside of geometry, modify topology, and delete hidden. And I'm gonna go to this other one. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get rid of this guys right here, all of this guys. There we go. And I'm actually gonna move this just a little bit further back so I have a little bit more room. And I'm gonna say delete hidden. Then I'm gonna go to this one, and I'm just gonna merge. So merge, where is it? Merge down. So both of them are combined. And there's a very nice handy tool that we can use called a bridge. So I'm just gonna go here, bridge two holes, and I'm gonna go from here to here. And there we go. Now you can see that it actually gave me like two divisions. I don't want that. Let me see if I can. Oh, it has an interactive curve. Okay, so I'm gonna do. I mean, that's fine. If we want to erase that one, we can just go edge, and delete, edge loop complete, and we delete that one. There we go. So now we have this nice little shape right here. And if we take a look, that's pretty much the blade of our object. Now, I do want to have like a double edge blade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working with booleans. I'm going to append a cube, and this first cube is going to give me like my sharpness. So I'm going to go here. Let's turn this visibility on, and this is going to be like boolean. So we're going to divide or get rid of it. And this is going to be the element that I'm going to use to like kind of cut my element right here. So I could do something like that. Like I could cut this one like a very short blade, or keep it like really pointy there on the end. Like there's a lot of ways to do it. I think I'm gonna keep it like this. I really like how this one looks, and I kind of like this strong element up there. So I'm gonna do that, and then I do want to remove a little bit more volume here. Like I don't want this to be like such a big sharpness over here. So I'm gonna append another cube right here, and this one we're gonna move it like this, and this is gonna be the one that we're gonna use to kind of like cut the thickness of my element. So I'm gonna remove this, and as you can see now, we should be able to kind of like get rid of some of the volume. We're gonna get this very nice effect. So there's a little bit of an edge up here, which I really like. I think that looks very cool. And then we have this very nice like flat surface over there. So both of those elements look good. Now remember, for this one, since we're in symmetry, we can go subtool master, and we can mirror, and mirror this to the other side. And now we're gonna have a very nice blade going throughout the whole element. Now let's add something interesting here, like a sphere that gives me a little bit of an extra sharpness, like right about here, right? So I'm gonna say append, and I'm gonna add a sphere. And what I'm gonna do is I am gonna like modify the sphere like this to create like a really sharp like effect. And I'm gonna use this effect to, again, let's go into remove and see how we can use this to kind of like cut a hole in here. So like this. I mean, we can go all the way like this, and that's going to be like a really strong hole, but I don't want to go super intense. So something like this I think works fine. And then let's bring this like in. I don't know, maybe like even like going all the way around. That looks kind of cool, right? Maybe not as big. Something like this does look good. So I think I'm gonna keep it like this. Again, we're freestyling, so I'm trying to show you all of the different techniques and tools that you can use so that you can find whichever you like the most. Now maybe I want to use that sort of curvature like up here and create like a really sharp like knife, like with a nice curvature over here. So, you know, kind of like a stiletto dagger or something. So feel free to experiment with this. This is just the creation of the blade. I think this looks kind of good, to be honest. I really like how this is looking, but I don't know, it looks a little bit too intense. So I'm not gonna use this, but what I'm gonna use instead is I do like this little hole here. Maybe like this, maybe rotate it a little bit. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of crazy, like super sharp, like kind of like a bee's stinger, right? And then I'm gonna append, and I'm gonna do a cube, and I'm gonna smooth the cube out. I definitely want to smooth the cube out so that I have like round surfaces. And you've seen the knives when they have like this sort of like serrated effect on certain areas. So I'm gonna like rotate this, let's say 10 degrees. So they're not like completely straight. They usually do it completely straight. Now let's do completely straight and see how this looks. We're gonna remove. And now it's just a matter of Control-Alt. Oh, I can't do that. Whenever you wanted to duplicate a subtool, remember we need to delete the lower subdivisions. So we just duplicate. We do this. Let's do 5. So right about there. And there we go. Now, just keep in mind that every single silhouette change that we add, that's a little bit of extra job or work that we're going to have to do in the topology section or in the retopology section. So yeah, just be mindful about that, because sometimes people go super crazy with their weapons, and then they're like, okay, now we have to retopologize this, and they're like, oh my god, it's such a pain to retopologize the whole thing. So yeah, just be mindful about that, okay? Now, yeah, that looks good. I mean, for a blade, that's not bad. So let's see, what else can we add? I'm taking a look here at the references that we have, and there's so many different things. But for instance, one thing that I'm seeing is like a bevel sort of thing on certain parts of the blade. So I think that looks cool. So let's go append. Let's do another cube. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this cube again a subtraction. We're gonna lower it like this. There's like this, it's like this sort of like long, like this thing kind of like removes a little bit of weight from the knife. And again, trying to do this inside of like Maya or C or Blender or anything, these shapes are difficult. Like I've done this kind of thing for other things like robots and stuff, and they're always tricky. So that's why live booleans are so powerful, because we can create and just let's try around, see what works, see what doesn't work, and find interesting things and details for our elements. So I like that one. I'm not sure if I want to move it all the way to the bottom. I don't think I want to. So probably just like that. And I'm gonna append a new. Actually, I'm just gonna repeat some Control Alt and drag this guy right here. And I wanna use, I wanna kind of like, again, change the form a little bit here on the knife. So maybe once it starts getting into the actual like handle, we're gonna have like a flatter edge right there. I'm not sure. You know what? Now let's go back. I might wanna. Ooh, that's not bad. That looks interesting. But no, it's just idea. Ooh, this is kind of like what I want. It's just like a little bit of a change here in silhouette. Look at that. That looks really cool, right? So that's it's giving us that sharp hook there. That when the knife comes out, it's gonna do way more damage while still keeping like a super sharp effect. So yeah, that looks very nice. So I'm gonna stop the video right here, guys. Make sure that you start working on your own blade. Again, this is more like a freestyle chapter, so we're not following any specific concept. We need to work with our creativity as well and see how we can idealize or create more interesting stuff. So yeah, let's stop it right here, and I'll see you guys in the next one when we work on the handle itself. So hang on tight, and I'll see you back on the next video.